Hi friends. So today Scott is working at 12. He's already gone. He's been gone for hours. I went back to bed. I had to get up really early for a dog to drop off. She's outside, or I'd show her to you, but she's so cute. Anyway, today's just gonna be a lazy day. I started a new medicine for my PCOS, and I added a dose last night because I have to like build up to the dose I should be at, and I just don't feel amazing. These dogs. So I think I'm gonna like watch a lot of Netflix today. For Vlogmas, I'll probably do books, like a book review a little later. So lazy cozy Saturday today. So this is gonna be me most of the day on the couch. I forgot to mention, I know everyone's on the edge of their seat. The sofa has still not come. It's in a different part of Kansas. Like an hour away was the last tracking update. I really wanted to get that filmed tomorrow because Scott's off work tomorrow. And I don't know if we're ever gonna get this box. I did see on the tracking that this one weighs 47 pounds. Who knows what it could be. All I need is instructions and screws. Hi friends! First wig of Vlogmas. This is actually my newest wig, and I think I need to go have her cut so that it fits my face better. I kind of have like this side behind my ear because it's a lot of hair, but I love the color. I think she looks real cute. I don't have any that are just like, I mean, I could straighten them, but I don't have any that are just straight, just nice, a good length, not like overwhelming hair. You know? Okay, the wig is not the point of the video. I am uploading a day and I'm gonna record a day. We are getting things done. I have all the dogs in here. Scott's at work, so if you hear barking, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go through books, and this one's gonna be different than last year. I'm gonna do books I've read, books I have that haven't read, which I did not realize this pile was so big, so I have a lot of reading to do. And then I'm also going to do what I'm currently reading, and then some like resource books that I have that I like, that I've read, that I want to share. So first, this is what I'm currently reading, this giant book. This is The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate with his son Daniel. And I first heard him talk on my Bialik's podcast, The Breakdown, which if you follow me on Instagram, I talk about that podcast all the time. I love my Bialik. She's so smart, and I think what her podcast is doing for the world is amazing. If you are interested in mental health, celebrity, a combination of both, she has guests on every week. And it's not always authors, sometimes it's doctors, sometimes it's celebrities, and just it's really great. You can listen to it and watch it on YouTube because they record it. She does it with her partner John. I always sound like I'm doing an ad for that podcast, but I really just love it. So he was on, and I love the things he was saying, and she was talking about his book. A lot of my books that I've read are influenced by Maya Bialik and her podcast. So I've just started this. I'm only like 20 pages into it, and I already like need my highlighter. It's so good. It's about trauma, illness, and healing in a toxic culture. But the main point he's trying to make, or not trying, he does make, is about how the things that we've accepted as normal, right? And what that means and how that affects us. And then in terms of also our health and being healthy versus sick, and when we get sick, and how we treat mental illness in this country. A wide scope of things. It's a great book. I know I haven't finished it yet, but I can tell. And just hearing them talk about it, I'm really excited to read that one. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna try and make this not an hour-long video. Books that I've read. Things No One Will Tell Fat Girls. This is fantastic. It's by Jess Baker. It's an older book, but I was late to the party. I didn't read a lot until 2020, guys. COVID did it to me. Yeah, this was copyrighted in 2015. So, Things No One Will Tell Fat Girls. Great book, especially if you are plus size like me, if you struggle with body image at any size. Things No One Will Tell Fat Girls. Fantastic. This next one is, I don't even know the right word. It's good. It should come with a trigger warning. It's so much science, so much information. I feel like I need to read it again. But it's The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. Well, I probably am not saying that right. The Body Keeps the Score. This is so good. It's about brain, mind, and body and the healing of trauma. And it's so fantastic. And it has so many real life examples. But the trigger warning aspect is he just drops them. You'll be reading about something else and it'll be like, oh yeah, and so had this, and this happen to them when they were 4. And it is not light things, it's very traumatic things. So it should come with a little bit of a warning. This is talking about trauma, and it's some of the trauma, most of it is trauma with a big T. If you've heard people talk about trauma with a big T, trauma with a little t. This is trauma with a big T. So be careful of that if you're gonna read this book. Just FYI. It's spoken about very matter-of-factly, very scientifically. It's not, you know, super drawn out, but it is in there and it does catch you off guard a lot because it just comes up random parts of the book. He'll throw in a very vivid example. So it's very good. A lot of science. I learned a lot from that book, and like I said, I feel like I need to read it again because I feel like I'll get even more out of it the second time. Okay, moving right along. 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma. This book is not at all what I thought it was gonna be. It's written like a novel, like there's characters, and there's like a plot and a storyline, but they're learning about the 5 a.m. Club and you're just kind of reading them learning it. If you listen to my podcast, I did an episode called The Truth About the 5 a.m. Club. I have nothing against morning routines, but you can do a morning routine at any time of the day. 5 a.m. is not feasible for everyone. So I wouldn't want anyone to read this book and feel like they're a failure if they can't get up at 5 a.m. You can do a morning routine any time of the day. Some people work nights. My husband works afternoon to evening. He gets home at like 11:15. He's not gonna wake up at 5 a.m. So read this book. There's a ton of good information, really great ways to build habits, build a morning routine, but don't put the time on the clock pressure on yourself with this book. Okay. Next one, I feel like I'm giving a caveat with these last couple ones. This one I'm sharing because I read it, but I don't feel like I'm giving negatives about all these books. They're all great, but this one, this is one that I got because of Mind the Alex podcast. She had this author on her show, Byron Katie. The book is called Loving What Is, and she has these 4 questions she calls the work that she says you can apply to any situation, and the questions are good, they make sense, and they do apply to a lot of situations, but she uses them in the book as well on people who've been abused, and the situations are grimy, and her making them answer these questions is grimy, and I don't think that you should feel like you have to try and find grace for your abuser or relate to them or take any of the blame yourself. This whole book is about the stories we tell ourselves. 4 questions we can ask ourselves to stop telling ourselves those stories. So, is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you act when you believe that it's true? And who would you be if you didn't believe it was true? Are the questions. So that part of the work is great. I believe in those questions. I think you could definitely use them to assess stories, but I don't think they apply to every situation. Because if you're believing the person who abused you is a horrible person, then yeah, you can know that's true. And you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt that's true. So, just a little, it made me feel grimy reading her talking to people like that. But the whole book is like real life conversations she's had when she goes and like puts on workshops with people. So it is like a quick read. It's very conversational, very easy. But again, I don't agree 100% with this book, so oh my gosh, read it at your own risk. All right, are these both? Okay, these are both by Joe Dispenza. He's also been on Mayim's podcast, but he was on, I watched that episode after I read these these books. The first one I read was Becoming Supernatural, and then Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. If you've read any self-improvement, spiritual, woo-woo books, you've gone to that section in the bookstore, the library, you've seen books by Joe Dispenza. He writes very scientifically, but easy enough for me to understand, and I am the least scientific person. Science was my worst subject, let's be honest, okay? Very good, Joe Dispenza. Anything by Joe Dispenza. I read these a really long time ago, but they're all marked up and highlighted and everything, so now I feel like I need to go back through and read more of these books. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Okay, let's go through my list of my little stack of what I need to read. This is way bigger than I thought it was. Okay, so the first one is Signs, the Secret Language of the Universe. I think I got this at Five Below, to be honest. They have some good metaphysical woo-woo books there sometimes. This is How to Get Away. Scott and I got this at when we vacationed with Getaway in the Lake of the Ozarks. The owner wrote this book and they leave it in the cabins for you to take. This I bought forever ago. I really need to read. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I can't tell you anything about these because I haven't read them. So these next two, let me give a little explanation. By now you probably know, if this is your first time here, thanks for coming. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Okay, so I was raised super evangelical, and when I was growing up, it was more important to know things about the Bible and God than to know things in school about science and the world, right? So I found myself now in my 30s not knowing basic science things. And when you start to deconstruct your faith at any age, you kind of realize, like, you just ask yourself very basic questions, like about dinosaurs. A lot of Christians don't believe in dinosaurs, or the timeline is questionable, right? And so I have felt, to be very vulnerable with you, I have felt very dumb multiple times in my life the last couple of years, because I'm like, what I was told and fed and thought excused me from having to learn the actual facts of the world. And now I'm a grown woman who's like, wait, but what actually about dinosaurs? Like, what is the timeline of the world, of life, of everything? Not the timeline of Noah's Ark in the Bible, right? So, because since I've deconstructed, I've been on such a journey to learn absolutely everything I can learn about absolutely everything. Hence why I'm even doing a video, a vlog about books. So anyway, I ordered these 2 books because of how I was raised and where I am now, the journey my life is on. So this is Why Evolution is True by Jerry Coyne? I don't know how you say his name. But I'm in a couple ex-evangelical groups on Facebook, and somebody in one of the groups posted essentially a post saying exactly what I just said. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone, which is why it's so, representation matters, and it's so important to surround yourself with like-minded people. Anyway, side caveat. This book was recommended to the person who posted in the comments as being very easy to read and breaking it down in ways that make sense, because if you're someone who spent, like me, who spent 20 plus years of your life believing something to its core, then when it comes time to change that, there's some things that are very quick and easy to change, but there's other things when you've been brainwashed that you can't change. It's a cult mentality that you can't change as easily. So, Why Evolution is True. This is probably what I will read next when I finish my current book. And then when I was on Amazon, because it likes to suggest things for you, I'm yawning. It suggested this other book by the same author. And this one is called Faith versus Fact, Why Science and Religion Are Incompatible. So, this is just another one that I will read. So, it's always be learning, guys. Always be learning. Speaking of learning, let's end with, these are some books I've read that are just great resources. Okay. So, the first one, if you are interested at all in EFT tapping, which is what I do in my empowerment coaching, emotional freedom technique, you tap on the acupressure points on your body to relieve stress, anxiety, depression, money, limiting blocks, limiting beliefs, on and on and on. The first book is The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner. This is the guide for everything. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful resource to have. And then this one, actually the foreword, is by Joe Dispenza, who we talked about earlier. See how it's all connected? This is by Peta Stapleton, actually, and I just bought a course from her to continue in my EFT learning journey, because that's why I read all these books, is I really want to have every way possible to help my coaching clients, every way to say something, every piece of knowledge, because everybody takes it differently, right? Everybody hears things differently, and so one way may not work for everyone to hear the same sentence, right? But anyway, this one, very sciencey, talks about a lot of studies. It's the science behind tapping, and Peta Stapleton, doctor, actually has a Facebook group, I can't remember the name of it, that I'm in, where she shares, like, this book was made, when were you written? Hello? Since this book was written, basically, is what I'm getting to, is that, yeah, 2019. There's been many more studies on EFT and tapping and the success of it. And anyway, she has a Facebook group where she shares all the current studies, all the current papers that have been written, all the case studies. And it's a really great group, especially if you're an EFT practitioner or a coach and you use tapping in your sessions. It's just another great resource to have for that, or even if you're someone who wants to start tapping and you're really interested in the science behind it, exactly how it works. This is a good one. Good one. Okay, and the last one is this giant, the only astrology book you'll ever need. This title is not lying. This has everything you can think of. It's got like combinations for partners and for jobs and for history and like charts and oh my gosh, everything you could ever want to know about your sign. I like to use this because I offer moon chart readings. And so a moon chart reading uses astrology, but you don't have to be an astrologer to do a moon chart reading. Like, astrology is so deep. That's why this book is 5 gazillion pages long. And huge. This is the size of my head. Because astrology is like, there's so much to it. There's so much to it and so much to learn, and to work with the moon you don't need to know all of that. Thank God. Am I right, sisters? So this book is amazing. Just if somebody has a question or they want to know more, I can really go in here and get any information for their sign, famous people with their sign, all the things. And I just love this resource. So if you're interested in astrology but don't want to take a giant astrology course, because that would take so long and, oh, excuse me, it would probably be kind of pricey. But anyway, the only astrology book you'll ever need, this is the one. You don't need to buy anything else. This will do it. So this has been my little book haul. I'm so happy. Now I'm like all excited to read. And yeah, I hope you guys will check out some of these. I will put a link below to my Amazon, and I'll just make a books category on my Amazon storefront so you guys can check out these books, shop these books if you want to. And yeah, let's do our Advent. Okay, I forgot one. So this is the Moonology Diary for 2023 by Yasmin Boland. She was my teacher for my Moonologer certification. She's the one who like copyrighted the term Moonologer. She's done the Moonology card deck. She's done Moonology manifestation card deck. She is the expert. So this is, if you're wanting to do moon work on your own, this is what I recommend. And it's got every new full moon for the year. It's got pages that are like a week spread. Then it's got like a little description of what the moon is gonna be. And then there's pages where, what are you grateful for this week? Like, and then here's a page to like set up your new moon wishes and intentions. So this will take you through the year. If you want to do moon work on your own, if you've had a moon chart reading with me, I tell you everything you need to know in that session to be able to do this on your own. And I also offer a one-on-one coaching and moon work package where I will walk you through the moons. We'll do a new moon session and a full moon session each month, so 24 sessions a year. And we'll do a moon chart reading, we'll pull cards, we'll plan for you, and by the end of the year you will have manifested in every area of your life. So working with the moon can change everything for you. Again, if you want to book a moon chart reading, you want to work with me for the whole year, there'll be a link in the description below. But again, you can do it on your own. It can be a lot and overwhelming, which is why I offer the coaching. But again, if you feel comfortable doing it on your own, you understand it all, you're ahead of the game, this is great. Great buy to have for the year. Okay, let's do our Advent. Ooh, it's a little polar bear again. Look at his cutie. With his little boots and his hat. Oh, this is a good one. Perform a secret act of kindness. It is a season of goodwill, so what better time to practice kindness? Look for an opportunity to do something helpful or generous for somebody else, but do it anonymously. Could be anything. Doing someone else's washing up. How cute. Leaving a chocolate on a colleague's desk, maybe even putting a stranger's litter in the bin. However big or small the act of kindness, just make sure you don't tell anyone that you did it. Resist the temptation to talk about your act of kindness and feel the inner satisfaction of doing a truly selfless deed. In this exercise, you will bring a little happiness or comfort into somebody else's life. You might also notice at the same time that your own day becomes more peaceful and invigorating. That is a really great one. If you do share your act of kindness in the comments or tag me on Instagram, that's a really good one. This advent calendar is killing it this year, guys. All right, let's pull our daily card. See what the cards have to say today. They're feeling like they need some extra shuffling today. Oh, we do not want to shuffle today. Ooh! Mistletoe. I love this card. It says, what dreams may come from the borrowing of ivy held tight within the womb, a calling in of sorts, a spell from above, holy holly. Oh my goodness. Let's pull out the old book here and see what it has to say for this card. Okay. Okay. The keywords for this card are fertility, protection, and spark of ideas. Oops. All right. Let's read it. You probably know mistletoe as a small branch with little berries hanging over doorways. It would seem mistletoe is a creative way to steal a kiss from a crush, but this little branch holds much more than soft kisses. Mistletoe is a key element to Yuletide celebrations. In ancient times, it served as a symbol of fertility and protection. Mistletoe berries were considered seeds of conception and were commonly added to love potions to increase their effectiveness. Do you have a seed that is ready to be sown? Pulling this card is a positive sign that you should act upon this new project. Creative endeavors are supported at this time, and you shouldn't be surprised if you find yourself seeing inspiration in unusual places. Perhaps you wonder if your idea is worthy or if things will work. Do not worry about that now. Pulling this card is confirmation that you are on the right path. You don't have to do everything at once. Small steps, just like asking a love interest for a kiss under the mistletoe, are enough to get you started. What a sweet card. The yellow in it. It's so pretty. I love these cards. I'm so glad we're doing this. Pulling cards. This is a gorgeous deck. Okay. Happy Vlogmas, guys. I hope you are enjoying the videos. There's so much more to come. I hope you have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow.